Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the volunteer webinar, where hopefully you're going to get a good insight into what volunteering is like with IWFM, what it means to the panelists here, and you will also have a chance to ask any questions you like at the end of it. The way that works is you can either, if you don't want to come on camera or on mic, drop a message into the chat. That's perfectly acceptable. Or if you are feeling bold and brave, you will be able to unmute yourselves and show us your face and ask the question directly to the panelists. We're very lucky today. We've got Michelle Connolly from the Veterans Network, who is going to talk about all the things that networks do and volunteering. We've got Joe Harrison, who is from the Regions, London Region Chair, who's going to talk about the work that regions do. And we've got Anna Williamson, who could probably talk about just about anything because she's on the Strategic Leaders Forum, she's on IWFM, she's on the Sustainability SIG, and she's representing SIGs today, and also Deputy Chair of our Members' Council. So without further ado, we will move through and start getting things done. Michelle, would you like to go first?
Sure, why not, Ian? Thank you. Can do. Hi everyone. I'm Michelle Connolly, and I'm a committee member on the IWFM Veterans in FM network, as Ian said. So our mission as a network is to attract, support, and retain military veterans, service leavers, reservists, cadet forces, and their families into the FM sector. And what does that mean? I think as a committee group, we work really hard to try and raise the profile of FM with that sort of group of people, service leavers who might be coming out of the forces and don't have a huge wealth of knowledge about FM as an industry. It's important to provide, visibility of that and position FM as a career of choice. So our network spends quite a lot of time on those sorts of activities. It's also providing that safe and supportive community, really, for veterans, service leavers, and that kind of group to when they come out of the forces and they've had that sort of the camaraderie that's involved in being in the military. It's really, providing another community for them within the FM industry. So as a group, we spend a lot of time talking to people about what is FM, what pathways through the industry look like. And I think really being a committee member, what does it mean to me? I mean, it's been great. You get to see a lot more about the industry as a whole, about what IWFM does as a whole as the institute, which is great. So from a personal point of view, it's definitely, taught me a lot more about the industry as a whole. Outside of my role as a committee member, I run a recruitment business. So again, our job as recruiters is to really highlight the industry, bring different, sets of talent into the industry. And I think this kind of just extends that opportunity as well. It's definitely helped me to meet lots more people across the industry and kind of connect with the different community groups, the different SIGs across IWFM, and that sort of thing. Does that cover it, Ian?
I think that covers it perfectly, Michelle. Interesting point you did bring up, which I've heard a lot from volunteers, is it's that working with other groups. The veterans are specific, but as a network, you're obviously representing a type of people like IWFM does for women in FM and those sort of things. But it's that liaising with special interest groups and things like that. You do tend to build up those connections that you might not otherwise have had.
Yes,
I think Sarah Orpwood from the Midlands, chair of the Midlands, she said, the funny thing is sometimes also in a committee, you're working collaboratively with people that outside of this would be competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's opened up so much more opportunity from, the perspective of the different groups. I've worked with Joe on the London region. We've collaborated on some events, and as we have with a lot of the other groups, and that's been really great. And sharing and collaborating like that, I think just brings a lot more opportunity to the table as well for IWFM, for you as individuals, and for the community really that you're representing as a volunteer.
Perfect. I couldn't put it better myself. If I was writing a script for it, that would have been it. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh,
Um,
good.
please hang on because I'm sure somebody is going to have some important questions. We will move, if we may, across to Anna, who, as I've said, spans an awful lot of things. And then last but not least, we will be talking to Joe, who is representing the regions. Anna, over to you.
Thanks, Ian, and thanks, Michelle. It's great to hear what the Veterans Network does do and what's in it for somebody to join a network. And that collaboration piece, I mean, I can't overstate that enough. There is strength in numbers. My day job is that I teach on and I lead the facilities management degree apprenticeship at a previous university in Bolton and now at the University of Gloucestershire. And I see a broad range of people on that course. And although we're trying to discuss the overarching principles of FM, it means something different to each and every one of us, because some of us are client side, some of us are contractor side, some of us are contractors but in-house, and sort of managing all the different colours of our industry is really interesting. And I hear so much comes back from the industry, from the sector to me through that route. It's really it's worthwhile work in itself. But then to be on some of the SIGs, the special interest groups, to be on some of the networks and in the forums and so on, just helps me further to be a well-rounded professional, FM professional, to see all sides of that. So from a SIG perspective, I sit on the sustainability SIG because sustainability within FM is my practitioner side. So to help businesses implement sustainability adaptations or designs at the beginning when the buildings are even just at the beginning of being conceived, and then how to manage sustainably as well. We've got a complex set of scenarios that are coming towards us in the climate emergency, and the sustainability SIG is well positioned with such a broad membership on the committee and then wider membership beyond that to share good practice, share best practice, develop thought leadership. So if you were to put yourself onto a SIG or be part of a SIG community, we're always looking for committee members. There should be a regular movement of people on committees to keep a SIG lively and vibrant and ensure that there's new knowledge coming in. But we work so closely with our policy and insight team as well, and some of the big five facilities management companies, so that we can support best practice and develop best practice guides. We do webinars so that we can reach a much wider audience. We've got one tomorrow. I'm a panelist on there on the climate adaptation. If you've not seen it yet, go to your IWFM website and have a look what's happening tomorrow. Register and come along. I'm sure it'll be worth your time, whichever part of the sector that you're in. And we help ensure that we're at the bleeding edge, really, of what's going on in the industry. What is clear from my work at university is nobody is at the cutting edge of every particular area within FM. You just can't be. You can't be. So it really is a place to knowledge share, support, nurture, develop best practice guides that are really the best way for us to articulate these pressures that we've got coming from regulation or legislation, or just the nice to haves that we as an organisation might want to implement, how we operationalise anything is always the challenge in our day-to-day business. And IWFM SIGs, in collaboration with the policy and insight teams, really help to consolidate that information so that you've got a handy guide there as some real world output that you can take as a checklist, really, and just to ensure that you are aligned with sector norms, with what IWFM and sector consultation identifies as sector norms. So it's a really wonderful place to be. And again, to what Michelle said, networking opportunities, it really opens the door to people that you wouldn't ordinarily be in the same room with.
Thank you, Anna. And last, but by no means least, we'll go to Joe Harrison, who's just going to give you an overview of regions, what they do, and what obviously he's getting involved with. So, Joe, if we may, over to you. No pressure.
No pressure at all. I better make it good. Thanks, Ian. And thank you, Anna and Michelle. Yeah, as they said, we collaborate a lot as the London region. London region, to me, just briefly, I started about 6 years ago. I've done various roles within the committee. So starting off as an event sort of coordinator, where you coordinate an annual conference or something like that, be part of something, given a budget and allocated a few different tasks to do for the day. Moved my way into deputy chair, then became chair last year. I think what's important is it's not a passive role, and it's also important not to just get, to join a committee, put it on your CV, get a job, and just disappear off the face of the earth. It's important to participate in order to be part of the industry. So it's not a passive role. You are actually seen as a bit of a voice of the profession. And what we find at all of our events is people come up to us and talk to us about all sorts of different things. They ask for our opinions. So you do have to be quite in the know, and you have to sort of make sure that your market research is done within the profession. You don't have to know what you're talking about. You can always refer to colleagues or pass people on. But everyone wants to see, we are the institute of the facilities management profession. So it's almost you have to you're becoming a bit of a voice of the profession, and you're telling people, there's people that look up to you. There are people that come up to you and say, how did you get into that position? How did you do that? I always say to everybody that I'm a facilities manager through and through. That it has been my entire career. Being a chair of the committee it complements my career, really. People get to know you in different various sectors, but my day job is being a facilities manager. You can steer your focus towards things that you believe in. Just for an example, if you've always been keen on social media or something like that, and you want to just post things, but you haven't got anything to post about, well, welcome to our world of 10,000 members in the London region. We look for people that want to are keen to write articles, things like that, things about sustainability, things about the profession as a whole, different opportunities, looking at all the different jobs that are available, and maybe posting about that. So we're looking for people that are keen to be part of what we do. As I said, high visibility and loads of speaking opportunities. I didn't realize how many speaking opportunities there would be joining the committee, but there has been quite a few, and it takes you out of your comfort zone. Public speaking has become something you just generally have to do. You have to sit on panels. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can join in. If it's not something you want to do, I didn't really want to do it, and then all of a sudden I was thrown in the deep end and started doing it, and found, okay, it's all right. I can just about do it. I can just about hold my own. So it's given me those opportunities, which I've put on my CV. I also talk about, if I do go for interviews and things like that, I do speak about what we do as a committee, and that holds you in a good high esteem with the employers. Legacy and impact. I think it's about not just participating, and it's about shaping the next generation of FM. So as I said, it's important to obviously learn from the past, but then we're shaping the future now. So being part of the London region for me is about shaping the future of FM. We've got a really good committee. There's 12 sort of hardcore committee members, and then lots of friends on the other side of the committee that have been in things in the past, or they want to, they contribute, but they can't give as much as they want to. They'll just come and join in. Being a committee member generally is 4 hours a month, I would say. If you're doing an event, like you may use those hours at other times. But it really does pay off because you get to be part of an event with 150 people. Just for an example, I don't know if anyone came to our snowball at Christmas last year. We had a massive Christmas blowout where we had about 125 people that attended. We were able to really let our hair down before the Christmas festivities. It was a great opportunity to really network and meet lots of different people that you probably wouldn't have met in other times. There were some influencers there. I'm not big on these influencers, but people were saying there's a couple of guys over there that started a cleaning company that interviewed Keir Starmer last week. Not that you'd want to interview Keir Starmer at the moment, or maybe you would. But it's a great opportunity to just speak to people and be part of something. That's what I was trying to say. It does pay off, and it is about being part of something. That's what I wanted to portray.
Thank you, Joe. A passionate speech for volunteering, and you got a heart as well. There, you're winning over people already. That's well done. Hopefully, that gives you a general overview. Anybody brave? And I'm a great believer. There are no stupid questions. If you don't know the answer to something, ask. So please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask, or drop something in the chat, and we're more than happy. I'll farm it out to the speakers, or if it's something more about the process, I can address it myself. Any questions at all that anyone has? Somebody be brave first. I know there's questions out there. It's just who's going to be the bravest one. Still nothing. Do I assume that our passionate supporters of volunteering here have won you over and everybody up? Is Lucy coming? Lucy.
Well, I'll give it a go.
Why not?
Why not? I suppose this might be a bit unfair, and apologies, I missed the beginning. I got tied up with something. I have completed the recent IWFM thing to be a mentor.
Right.
And put myself on the books for that as one form of volunteering, and that relates very much to work I used to do in my past. I was interested to do. I'm about to retire. Not heard anything back from that yet. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago only, and that's all about a match, isn't it? Suitable common
Yes.
area of interest. So it's been very interesting hearing about the different options you guys have outlined. Sorry, I'm actually trying to ask a process question and I'm not managing to say it very well.
That's fine.
It's about, so if you wanted to be more active in a SIG, you go on the portal, you find the details of that special interest group, you find a meeting, you turn up, you email, you join a session. That's
not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. After this event, I will send out a recording of this to everyone who registered. Within that, there will be an expression of interest form. There'll be a link to an expression of interest form.
Okay.
We do need that as governance, and if I don't do governance, I get told off big time by Our Lady in governance, and quite rightly so, probably too. And then I can put you forward. So if that comes in, quite happy to put that forward to the relevant SIGs, networks, or regions that you'd think you might want to be involved in. The process then, and Michelle, Anna, Joe, shoot me down if I'm doing this wrong, please. The process then would be somebody give you a call, have a chat around it, and make sure the fit's right for both of you, because you're giving your time for free. You've got to get some feeling of achievement out of it, and yeah, that's worthwhile. So funnily enough, we had somebody with Scotland who is very much in the workplace suite of FM. And Mark there said, you'll be brilliant for us, but I don't think you'll get anything out of the committee by being involved. So we're going to introduce that lady to the workplace SIG and see if there's a better match there, so that she can input her knowledge, get more involved, and then work with the regions from that special interest position. So expression of interest form is the first way forward. And then I'm quite happy to put your name out to wherever you feel you would feel more comfortable working. And then we can have a chat and introduce you to the chairs. And then it's a really simple process. You do go along to a meeting, and it's very informal. Do you like that? Does it feel comfortable to you? Does it feel like home? Yes, it does. Then you're part of the team. And then the hard work starts.
Thanks. That's good.
You're welcome. How do we find out about roles which are available? There are a number. Anna made the point that we're always looking to bring new blood in. Things change for the right reasons sometimes, and sometimes people get new jobs, all of these things. So we're always looking. The north is pretty full at the moment, but I think most other places are keen to get the right fit for people where it'll work. So yeah, we can certainly do that. Anna, you've got your hand up.
Can I just come in on that from
You
the
most
Women in
certainly
FM perspective? So
Yes.
Women in FM has been reconstituted and relaunched, and because there wasn't an established community on the communities page of IWFM, which is where I think any of us would have our first port of call, just to be able to see the breadth of SIGs and networks and forum that are available. When critical mass, I suppose, wasn't achieved of committee officers, then our chair said the next step will be that we'll put them out on LinkedIn. So I think LinkedIn shouldn't go unnoticed or unmonitored either. All of us have, to greater or lesser extent, vibrant LinkedIn presences. Michelle, I know your veterans network is really vibrant, so you must have a dedicated person who looks after that. And perhaps you can speak to how you use LinkedIn to notify members of committee openings.
Yes, yeah. So we do use LinkedIn very regularly, even more so at the moment, actually, as we have now got a dedicated resource. And prior to that, it was me. Yes, we do tend to put everything out on our LinkedIn, and we've got a LinkedIn group page, and we've got a company page, which we've done just to try and extend the reach of our following as well, because you're a bit restricted to what you can just do on a group page. So if you go on LinkedIn and typed in IWFM Veterans and FM Network, for example, you would see two elements coming up there. So we tend to pop on there things like any events that we're running, any industry news that we think might be of interest to people. There might be some, job opportunities that relates to our particular network and community that we may pop on there. We may put things on there like video interviews that we do, things like webinars and any content that we think is right to share with our members will go on our LinkedIn page. So I would say quite a lot of the networks are active on LinkedIn. So I would agree with Anna. I know there's some change sort of happening on the IWFM website as well. So that will develop over time. So you'll see more there. But in the interim, I would definitely have a look on, keep an eye on LinkedIn and the different groups and regions and SIGs and networks.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, Joe, you had your hand up and now you've taken it down.
I did. I had a thought. They come now and again. My thought was, it's not just about being, chair, deputy chair, or being somebody that's posting on LinkedIn. Like, obviously, we need people posting on LinkedIn over there. There's so many other responsibilities that a committee has. So we have a treasurer, a secretary. We have the events guys, we have the people that write different things for us to post, we have people that edit our photos and things like that. So there's so many different things, and I think in order to have a good committee, you have to have lots of different people doing lots of different things. So what I wanted to make clear, it's not all about being on panels, being a personality, doing lots of, there are loads of different things. I actually at the moment need somebody to help me work on the recruitment drive. So we've had lots of interest from people that want to be part of our committee, and it's sifting through that and, you know, holding 10-minute interviews with people. And or there may be somebody that wants to be a deputy treasurer. They may have an interest in finance and want to work with the sort of sponsorship money that comes in. Or there may be people that are good at, I don't know, making Photoshop posts or something like that, or using Canva or whatever. So it's about all the different skill sets, bringing them all together and utilising them to the best of our ability. So,
and I think that's, sorry, go on, Michelle.
Sorry, I was just going to add to that, and that's a really good point, Joe. And I think, you know, we're all probably slightly different in the way we run because of the different topics, but also to add on to that, so, you know, Joe's London region, but for Veterans Committee, that's national. So we, if anyone has followed us on LinkedIn, you might have seen a map that we put out of where our committee members are based in the UK. So that's kind of another point, is that we, you know, we like to try and cover different areas of the UK as well. So we've got somebody in our network that sits on Scotland region for IWFM, but is also on the IWFM Veterans Committee. And I know similarly with the Rising FMs, they have champions throughout the UK as well. So there's lots of different opportunities there for people positioned differently. So whether it's a particular strength around, you know, finance events, things like that, or it's kind of a location based role as well that you can take to represent in that area.
And now Anna's got her hand up. I do have to go on to one. Are there any opportunities in the workplace space? But I will. So, Rob, I'm not ignoring you. Anna, please come in and.
Just on that, it's worth just reiterating that no matter where you are in your career, it's never too early. It's IWFM, we are a very warm and welcoming place. If you have just come out of some early career training and you found that, oh, look at that, you're just in FM. Who knew? Because we don't talk enough about FM in school or in college. So to give it its name is very useful. And then come along, if the Risings group is for early career, the idea being then that you step up then into one of the group's networks, SIGs and so on. And to Joe's point there about the career opportunities, you know, if you want to take an office, if you want to know how boards work, and if you're on a leadership pathway, either officially or unofficially, and you're not getting support in your workplace for that, then learn what it is to be a treasurer or a secretary. Or, I mean, being a secretary, taking minutes, forming an agenda, consulting with other people on the committee, like what are the characteristics of a committee? Treasurer, deputy chair, on the understanding that you cut your teeth as a deputy chair and might want to be in the running to be chair in a couple of years' time. I mean, these are all really useful career advancement tools that need to be flexed. Thanks, Ian.
That's all right. No, thank you. Thank you all. That's excellent. Somebody's put, oh, well, yes, great answers. Thank you. They were great answers, panel. So thank you from me as well. Are there any opportunities in the workplace space of IWFM? We have a workplace SIG. They are very small. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's a great opportunity, Rob, because you could actually work with Ian Baker, who's the chair, and really shape the way that's moving forward. I'm biased because I'm the volunteer partnership manager, and I think our volunteers are outstanding. And I'm quite happy to say that in open court because they really are. It's workplace is coming back and it's trying to do new things and it's becoming more important. So yes, there are. The EOI form will be coming out hopefully later on today, at worst tomorrow morning. Bear with me. Fill it in. I'm quite happy to introduce you to Ian. Not a problem, Rob. There's an expression of interest. Ellie, we have answered that, I hope, for you. So that's good. Yes, there will be an EOI form, expression of interest form, coming out with a link to this video afterwards. And then also, if you've got any questions, please feel free, write in. It's not a problem. We're here to help and answer those questions. Do we have any more questions? Because we're doing really well with time, despite the fact that my panelists are giving really brilliant answers. So have they covered everything? Is there one more burning question that people would like to ask?
I've got an observation, Ian, if there's nobody mentioning anything in the chat or anything, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
It's a two-way street. When we get to a certain stage in our career, we absolutely should give back to our industry. And so if you're on this call thinking, like, what is IWFM going to do for you? Not to coin that awkward phrase, but what do we as practitioners bring back? What can we bring back? And when we reach a certain stage of our career or a certain stage at work, we as a membership body, as a collective, would really benefit from you bringing your experiences, your knowledge, your capabilities, your competencies to us in a formal way through these networks and SIGs and so on, just like any of the other professional bodies. So yeah, I would ask you just to jump in anyway, see what it's all about, and find your place, find what you can bring to us.
I would add on to that. You're absolutely spot on there. I can't find fault with that. I would just also add on to that. If you're new into the industry, jump in. You can provide a new, fresh, you might see things differently. And that might be something that's really, really valuable. You know, I spent years in consultancy, and we've always done it that way. Used to really wind me up. Think of a new way of doing it. What are the new challenges? So if you've got that experience, absolutely, Anna's spot on. Let's look to give back. And most of the volunteers do give back and get something back from it as well. But if you're new in, there's some really, really... Joe, I'm going to be reminded of, I was in London at one of your committee meetings, and there was a young lady there who's just joined the committee, new into FM, been in about 12 months, 18 months. Do you remember? And it's like, oh, I had a flood. And one of the committee members, who's an old hand, been in FM for ages, said, we've got a standard operating procedure for that. I'll send you the document over. It'll help for the next one, because they're probably... That's it worked. To me, that was just a dream come true, because you've got somebody who's finding their feet, driving a career that's going to be great. And then you've got somebody else saying, actually, like everybody else around this, we've all had that one. I'll send you something through that will help you in the future. Do get involved. It's really important. If there are no questions, though, and I'm still looking at the chat, no one put anything in, I am going to give people some time back. But I would like to thank everyone for joining. I'd like to thank the panelists for their insight and their thoughtful input, really valuable. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I will be writing out to all the registrants, and I will be sending EOI forms. Rob, workplace, yeah, I'll put you forward, not a problem. Thank you very much to everybody who's joined. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Anna. And hopefully some of you will feel that volunteering is for you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Ian. Bye.
Yeah, thank you all.
Ian.